What's going on, guys? Thomas Garetz here, back with another video on my investing channel, and today we got a special one. Not only is it the first interview I don't think I've ever done an interview on any of my channels, but it's definitely the first interview I've ever done on this channel, and I got a special guest for you, but it pertains to this video Coffeezilla made. You may have seen it, you may have not, but I've been getting an influx of comments about how Floki Inu is a pyramid scheme or whatever he called it, and it's unfortunate because I used to watch a lot of his videos, and it's sad because he just didn't really do any research like he usually does in his videos. He's very thorough. So he just really missed the ball on this. So today I'm bringing on a special guest who's actually a part of the team of Floki Inu, and his name is Mario. And we're just going to go over Floki, talk about what he got wrong, and that. Yeah, so let's bring you on right here. What's going on, Mario?
What's up, Thomas?
Not much. So I kind of explained a little bit, but how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with Floki?
So I've been in the crypto game for a little bit now, just a little under a year, and I built up, quite a nice little portfolio, nice gains through other meme projects in the past. And Floki I originally found back in, I would say June of this year, before the current version of the contract ever came out. And really, with Floki, I was just a member of the community, much like most of the current team was during version one of the contract, and we'll go through the versions later on. But um, we were all members of the community. We all kind of, a few of them banded together to save the project during V2. I was doing voice chats in the community about 5 to 10 hours a day, every day, during the launch of the V2 contract. And I think after about a week, they approached me and they said, "Hey, would you like to be a part of the team? We see you educating the community, helping people to not get overly emotional when it comes to crypto, making bad decisions, things like that." So they invited me to be a part of the team, and I became a little bit like the voice of Floki for a little while. And now the whole team does voice chats, but at the beginning it was mostly just me
Okay.
every day. I did all the announcements and everything for about a month and a half. But yeah, that's how I got involved with the project. Now I'm heading the Floki University platform that we're building, which is all about crypto education, as well as still doing voice chats every now and then to welcome new members and help answer questions.
Okay. So you're telling me
Yeah,
it isn't just a Ponzi scheme and all of that. That's not true.
no, no. I'm at the version one of Floki. The original developer who created the coin right after Elon tweeted that he was going to name his dog Floki. A bunch of people ended up creating Floki, coins, names with,
Sorry.
tokens with the name Floki in them, and they still do today.
Right.
But when those first versions of those coins came out, all those developers were just rugging people,
Right.
And this developer, the first guy who created this token, he was a lot more patient than the others. The others would just take people's money within a couple hours. This guy wrote into the contract that every transaction, 20% would go to his wallet of every
Wow.
transaction. And so he was very slowly draining the money out of the token. And what ended up happening was eventually the contract was going to break. It was written into the code that it would reach a point where people could no longer buy or sell. And so members of the community, me being one of them, we were like, "Oh God, there's 9,000 people here who are all about to be hurt, ourselves
Right.
included. Let's see if we can we can't save the token. Let's see if we can save the community." And so, a few members of the team, um, Uniswap Detective, who, he retired from crypto, but he was a member of the team for the first few months. Him, Petabyte Capital, B, and a few others on the team ended up coming together, pooling their own money, hiring a developer to write a new contract, launch a new token, and they were going to airdrop all the V1 tokens from those holders to holders of this new, basically to this new token, knowing full well that those new holders could have dump on them. Like
Right.
they're just giving them free tokens and putting money into the liquidity pool, knowing that they could just take it and run. The story is kind of crazy. Of the V2 launch and kind of where we've come so far because when they launched V2, before they even launched V2, when V1 was dying and they were preparing to launch V2, the first dev they hired was not doxxed, meaning that nobody knew his real name. He was just the guy who
Right.
just approached the team saying, "Hey, I can write the contract for this." Um, and he wrote a contract. It didn't end up being the one that we launched, and said, "All right, now I just need the money to put into the liquidity pool before I transfer ownership to you guys." And so the team, at that time, the new team was like, "Okay, here's 300 Ethereum," which at the time was about $500,000. Today, that's about 1.2, 1.3 million. They just gave it to him, and he took it and ran, disappeared.
So,
So not only did the whole community get rugged by the first dev, but the new team had their money stolen by the second dev that they hired.
right.
And so they went and found a third dev who was doxxed, who people did know the name of. He had a LinkedIn and everything, and he wrote the new contract. And they had to go find other people to provide money because that was all their money that they gave to this
Right.
guy that he ran away with. So yeah, the whole beginning, like this project should have died twice,
Right.
and we're here today.
Right. Weathered the storm and really like that shows the strength of not only the community but just what when you go through hard stuff like that it grows. You just get stronger. And
Yeah,
a lot of what Coffee talked about, I think you saw the video, but he's basically
yeah,
saying that people are just gonna dump their bags and rug the project. So
yeah.
can you explain a little bit why that's really not possible with what it is now?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, all this stuff did happen, and we had that same FUD
Right.
that's spreading now about it during the first couple weeks. Like this thing's gonna dump, everybody's gonna rug, blah blah blah. Because of all the trauma from all the tokens that were rugging at
Right.
the time, and from what this one itself had gone through
Right.
already. So when I was doing the voice chats during the first couple weeks, it was a lot of combating the FUD by going through the blockchain and showing the evidence, which I wish Coffee would have done because
Right.
he'd see it himself. But if you open up like Etherscan or BSC Scan, because we're both on the Ethereum network and the Binance
Right.
smart chain, if you open up either of those and you look at the holders, the first holder on both is the burn wallet, just all the dead tokens. The second is the bridge wallet, which is because we're on two networks, we have a bridge contract where if you want to move your tokens from Ethereum to Binance, basically your tokens get sent to the bridge wallet contract on one side and come out of the bridge contract on the other side. So they only ever exist on one side at a time. You can't have tokens on both chains or the same tokens on both chains at the same time. So they get
Right.
locked up on one side, unlocked on the other side. Um, and so you can consider those wallets also dead and
Right.
burned. If you go below that, the next 10 of those next 10, I would say about five or six are centralized exchanges.
Right.
And that's the ones like Gate is like the third wallet. It's got 1.4% or 2% of the
It's
supply or something.
2.5 is what I see
Yeah,
on this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They've got a good chunk of the supply. There's a few others in there. A lot of the centralized exchanges don't change the label of their address. Like Gate for a while did not say Gate. It was just an Ethereum wallet.
Like on each
And then
scan,
eventually,
you can
yeah,
see it says their name. Yeah.
it says their name now. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually they label it.
Gotcha.
They have to eventually label it, but for most tokens, it's just an address until later on they label it. And
Right.
if you open up the other ones, you'll see that they weren't buyers; they're just transfers, and
Right.
that's usually because of exchanges, people transferring the money to the exchange. So
Right.
if you open up like all the other wallets, it's transfers, transfers, transfers. There's like one guy in there that has like 1.2% of the supply. So most of the 310,000 holders that we have now, one person has more than 1% of the supply. It's like 1.2%.
Right.
Everything else is an exchange or the burn wallet or a smart contract. So the chance of it dumping and going to zero overnight is zero.
Yeah.
Liquidity is locked for 265 years. You can have three 85-year-old grandmas back to back living and dying,
Right.
and the liquidity will still be locked. So that's secured. The contracts for the marketing wallet and for the contract itself, we haven't renounced ownership, but both the contract and the marketing wallet are multi-sig. And what that means is no one person controls it. There are
Right.
six people that have been assigned as as like the signatures on those wallets, and you need 4 of the 6
Right.
to allow any transaction to go through. So whenever we need to use money for marketing, 4 people have to be online at the same time to sign
Right.
the sending of those funds. If we want to change the marketing tax or we want to make edits to the contract, 4 people have to be online. So no one person can ever do anything bad to the contract, even on the team.
Right.
Uh, and both of those are public. Like everybody has access to the marketing wallet. They can all see every
Yeah.
transaction. We go through it actually almost daily.
Right.
So we'll see like, oh, it looks like Saber, who's our marketing head, looks like he just spent $300,000 on some deal. He'll tell us about it next week, but like we
Right.
can see them happening in real time, which is awesome because that's
Yeah.
super transparent. Um, and that's been our biggest thing since the beginning is our transparency. You know,
Right.
whenever we're on version 3 of our Ethereum contract. So version 1 was that first developer who scammed everybody.
Yeah.
Version 2, the marketing wallet wasn't working. It wasn't collecting any funds. So we had a tax, but the tax was just being burned
Right.
for the marketing wallet. And so we launched on the Binance side to fix that. And then we had to relaunch on the Ethereum side and airdrop tokens again, which cost multiple 6 figures just to airdrop to everybody
Right.
with gas fees. And so we're on the third version of that contract, which is now actually it's perfect. It's the marketing wallet functions perfectly. It's not renounced, so we can make changes to it whenever we need to. Obviously, with everybody's approval. Most of it's community run because the team itself is made of the community members of
Right.
V1. So we asked the community like, hey, we bought back like 4.7 billion tokens the other day, and we asked them, what do you want us to do with it? Do you want us to burn it or put it in the vault for the game that we're coming out with early next year? And they said burn it, and we burned it.
Yeah.
We burned 4.7 billion tokens, posted the transactions live on Twitter so everybody could see them that we burned the tokens. So it is a community run project. But as far as what he said about like, these things are a pump and dump Ponzi scheme, no real value, nothing being provided to the world. All of that's a lie. He could have done 5 minutes worth of research. He could have gone to our website, seen that we're building schools all over the world. We're starting with four schools in Ghana.
Yeah.
That we donated $1.4 million from our NFT launch, which was all the money that was made from the NFT launch, all of it. 100% of all the proceeds that the team made was donated to combat food insecurity through the Million Gardens movement, making us the second most charitable NFT project ever. So we're donating millions of dollars to charity. We're building a game. We're providing crypto education to our community so they don't get burned by other coins.
Right.
We do daily voice chats, so you always have access to the admins and the team members to ask questions. We're never like closed off to any question. We don't ban people for asking questions. And we've been transparent about everything since day one because we had to be. As a project that got rugged twice. Once the community, second time the team.
Right.
The only way to combat that is just be very open about everything that happens.
Exactly. And
regardless
it would almost
of
be
the response.
Easier to some people, like certain people would probably buy quicker if you just told them all the good stuff and you weren't like, hey, this did happen. We did get rugged.
Yeah.
The developers did get their money taken or whatever. You'd probably it would be easier. But being transparent, you can't say that you're lying because why would you not lie about, that would be something you'd lie about, So it's like you're open with everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. But that's in the past, and moving forward, you can see all the transactions. You can see what's done with the marketing budget. No one has over 2%. Like, it's crazy. So, like, that's huge. You look at these tokens, like, what was it, Squid token, or one of those tokens that got rugged. It's like we're getting roped into this talk. And not to mention, he just basically saying Doge is a scam. Not a scam, but he's saying it's a joke, which it was made as a joke. But
it was a joke.
Yeah,
it's still
and then
kind
he's
of a joke.
grouping Shiba and Floki in, and both of those, I don't know a ton about Shiba, but I do know that they have actual utility, and Floki does as well. So it's just not right to make an assumption and then just record a video with no real.
He could have done 5 minutes worth of research.
Done. Yeah,
literally 5. He could have sent us an email. We would have been happy to respond.
Right.
We wouldn't have ghosted him. I commented on his video to correct some of the things that he said. He hid my comments.
Me
He hid
too.
my channel from commenting on his video, which is, that's fine. I think
Right.
most people, they will only allow comments that fit the narrative, and
Yeah,
whenever you
that's very
provide
true.
evidence to the contrary, they'll silence it.
It's very true.
Um, and I trusted the guy for a very long time. Just, you and I were talking about this. Like, we watch his channel as a source of, reliable and good information,
Yep.
because he is very thorough when he audits these other projects. He goes to the blockchain, connects wallets to
Everything.
addresses, everything, like the Logan Paul stuff, and and
Yep.
Jake Paul, and that whole save the kids.
Yeah,
Like,
that
he's
was
done some
huge.
really good investigative work, and for this, he did nothing. He just bashed our token for 20 minutes with no, like, he didn't provide any evidence. There was nothing there. He just made sweeping generalizations and judgments about it, and didn't even bother to see all the good that we're doing in the world, you
Right.
know? And we are very aggressive on the marketing front, but it's not even where we're spending most of our budget. Most of our budget's being spent on charitable things, on partnerships, and on developing the game, which we've assigned, millions of dollars towards.
Right.
So that money that people are giving as a marketing tax, none of the team is taking that for themselves.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody gets paid a salary except for maybe some of the mods who
Right.
get like $1,000 a month or something. I don't take a salary. I just do it because I love the token and I love what we're doing, all the good that we're doing. Um, yeah, it's really, this is really a labor of love. It's a passion project for a lot of us. It's our legacy project, and we've come from 4 million market cap to now over 2.5 billion. We went as high as 3.5 billion recently before we've started correcting a little bit, and we've never had a dump. We've never actually dumped at all. I think our biggest correction was over the span of a month and a half, and it was about 60% at the very beginning, before any of the utility and partnerships were coming into play. But since then, if you look at our chart anywhere, we go up, we consolidate, we go
Yep.
up, we consolidate, we go up, we consolidate over and over and over. And at no point are we like crashing
Right.
90% like
It just
Shiba
looks like a
did over
healthy
and
chart
over.
should.
It's a
Yeah.
very healthy chart. Yeah, it's moving very much like a utility token would, because it is a utility token at this point.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's huge. I think a lot of people, they, like I said, they jump to conclusions. But what's crazy is in Coffee's video, he talks about um, certain people promoting it just to get paid. And I just want to say, because I made a comment on that video and then I replied to a comment, and people were like, oh, seems sketchy. You make videos about Floki, basically saying that, oh, he probably gets paid to do it. When, first of all, I have never been paid a cent to do any of these videos. It's my personal money, my personal time that I do this because I believe in it. So it just doesn't make sense to say those types of things when you really think like Graham Stephan and these people would lie about getting paid? Like, why would anyone lie about that? You know what I mean? Like, I would be open about it. That's like, honestly, that's like a good thing. When like a huge company gets a partnership with someone huge, they announce that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not something you
Yeah.
hide. So
Right.
it's just silly to think like that. But
Well, it's silly to think that somebody with a following of 3.5 million people on YouTube would risk their entire
yeah,
following that they've built years over just not disclosing that they're getting paid by somebody.
yeah,
Like, that's illegal.
yeah,
You
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 can't
think
do
this
that.
guy for one video is like, I'm gonna break the law because why not?
Right.
I've built a multi-million dollar real estate business. I've been building this channel for years and years, but hey, let's go to jail over Floki.
Yeah. Like, why?
Makes no sense. Makes
No,
no sense.
no.
Yeah, people jump to crazy conclusions, and it's they. I feel like it's because they can't find any other logical reason, because they haven't done the research to know, like, why is this guy talking about this coin? You
Right.
know, we're trending. We've been trending on Twitter for 2 weeks.
Right.
Everybody's going to talk about us eventually. You know, it's hard to ignore something that's been on this kind of a run. We're almost at 1,000x from where we launched, and
Right.
very stably and slowly have gotten there. We haven't gotten there in a week. We've gotten there over 4 months.
Right.
You know, so
And
it's
yeah, I said it in my last video, but it's like a lot of the time when people are hating on a specific coin or a specific investment strategy, for example, like value investors in the stock
mhm,
market, they're not investing on growth investments, right? But
right.
also the other type of person hating on these type of things are the people that missed out on, getting the Dogecoin run up, the Shiba run up, and they're just salty. At the end of the day, they're
Yeah.
just upset. And instead of trying to do their research and understand like how something could do this and why there's actual value here and stuff like that, they just shit on it, which is kind of crappy, but that's how the internet is. They say
That's how
not to
people
make
are.
videos about it because it's, I don't even remember what he said, but basically he's indirectly capitalizing on the hype as well by saying
Yeah.
people shouldn't do that. So
Right.
it's
Right.
just messed up and
He's
hypocritical.
monetizing and making money off of hating the same way that people are making money off of showing
Loving,
support,
yeah,
you know. I think the side effect, unfortunately for him, is that he's probably going to end up hurting a lot of his viewers who do hold Floki because they'll watch his video,
right,
they'll sell at a loss on a video that has no evidence in it just because they trust him. You
yeah,
know, you can abuse the trust of your audience by doing something like that, and I feel like if you're going to make such a claim that people are going to make decisions because of those claims, you should at least do the research to
yeah,
back your claims up. Just at least 5 minutes of research,
yeah.
just the,
No, it's
the
very
tiniest bit.
surprising. Yeah, it was
It is
very
very
surprising.
surprising. But hey, people do what they want to do. It's a
Right.
free world.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. I just feel bad because shortly after that video, before I even knew, I was getting multiple comments on my Floki videos about how it's a Ponzi scheme and it's like
Yeah.
people that are saying they already invested, but it's too bad it's a Ponzi scheme, like taking his word as fact. And it's just, yeah, it's too bad. But I think we touched on Coffee's video enough, but I just thought it was important to really
Yeah.
let that be known that not everything you hear on the internet is fact. Like you should, even if it's someone you trusted, like always do your own research because you never know. Like I'm not gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say this happened, but it's very possible with all like the people like fudding on Floki. It's very possible there may be someone trying to like push a different narrative and paying these people. I'm not saying that's what happened. I have no proof. I'm just saying it seems
Feels
that way.
coordinated that they all came around the same time, saying the
Literally,
exact
the
same
Motley
things with no
Fool.
evidence.
There's so many people. Yeah, like big names, And Coffee, I feel like, is a big name in that.
You
Yeah.
think, with all the evidence they have for all the other scams, you think they would have you think they'd have something for us?
Right.
Just anything.
They just
Something
group it
sketchy on the
in.
blockchain, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, they went through ledgers and wallets and transfers and transactions and everything for all these other coins,
Right.
but for ours, it's just nothing. They got
Nothing.
nothing. There's
It
like,
seems
hey,
weird.
it's a scam, it's a Ponzi. Show me on the blockchain where I'm saying it is because dog coins.
If it's a scam, every investment, every stock is a scam. Like, you're making an
Yeah.
investment to make money. Oh, it's a scam. Like what?
Yeah. Oh, it's Tesla's a scam stock because people just buy it because they want to sell it for more later.
It
I'm
makes
like,
no
that's
sense.
business.
Yeah,
You buy raw materials, you sell them for more later
literally.
after you put them like, come on,
It makes zero sense. That's what
arbitrage
everyone
is a
keeps saying
scam.
too. Yeah. The greater fool theory. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was like invented for stocks. I don't even know. I
it was. You buy an investment with the idea of selling it for more money later on.
Isn't that why you invest? Like what?
That's why what investing is. That's the basic. Well, but value investors always call it the
Yeah,
greater fool theory because to
exactly.
them, like, I didn't buy it to sell it, I buy it to hold it and get
Exactly. I
dividends,
need my
and
dividend.
it
Yeah.
grows over 50 years. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. It's
people,
crazy.
it's
Okay,
fine. It,
so
it is what it is.
yeah, that's it's very one-sided. I talked about that in my last video as well. But I think that's pretty much everything on I honestly don't even know what else he covered. He basically just said the same thing over and over. So I think we
We just
covered
said the
most
same
of
thing
it.
for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to check the video out on his channel, go check it out. It's kind of a waste of time, but whatever. But you touched on a bit of the future of Floki, but is there anything specific that you really want to touch on for anyone who's maybe just finding out about Floki, or I don't know, maybe they're on the
Yeah.
fence or they saw his video, anything like that you want to touch on?
I mean, aside from all the marketing that we're doing, which you'll see if you live somewhere on this planet, you'll see it eventually because we're everywhere. We just secured a huge deal in Australia to cover about 34% of all the adults living in Australia will see
Right.
our billboards and stuff there. But our marketing is like incredible, but that's not really what I want to focus on as far as the future of our coin. The future is really in our charitable contributions, our game and our education platform, and our partnerships. We have a lot of things going on. We're trying to add utility everywhere that we can. So we've got partnerships with shopping.io and crypto carts, so you can use
Right.
Floki tokens to purchase things on Amazon, eBay, and like 1,700 other stores online. We've got partnerships with ePay, Ethereum Pay, and Curate, so that we're going to have a gasless NFT marketplace and an actual marketplace like of physical goods that people can
Okay.
use their Floki tokens to transact with each other. We're going to have an NFT 3D gaming metaverse with on-chain interactions that we have a team of dozens of developers working on right now. We're spending millions of dollars on developing this game. Think of it kind of like Skyrim and Pokemon combined. Like
Okay.
there's going to be aspects of both adventure and collecting and battling each other. In the game, the tokens are going to be the currency in the game. So a lot of tokens are going to be locked up in the game. That's going to be part of the burn mechanic, is that a bunch of tokens are going to be in the treasury of the game and not out on centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges for purchase.
And
So
there
that'll
already
increase
is
that
some,
scarcity.
right?
Yeah,
There already is some locked, right?
yeah. There's a ton already that's been locked and burned, but we're every day more and more is being put away into that treasury. Um, so we have that coming out, which is going to be amazing. It's play to earn, so people can play the game and earn a living.
Yep.
Obviously, if you live somewhere in the U.S., you may not be able to replace your income by playing the game, but in
The
countries that are
Philippines.
underdeveloped, or yeah, like the developing countries, underserved countries that where the income, like I come from a country where their average income is like $300 US dollars a month. There, they could replace their income by playing a video game, on
Yeah.
their phone. And that's going to be amazing. It's going to give people an opportunity to earn a living
Yep.
doing something fun. Um, and then, of course, charity. We're starting with Ghana as far as our partnership with Pencils for Promise. We're building 4 schools in Ghana. Um, our goal is to build schools in every developing country in the world and on every continent. So that's a pretty big goal. It's going to cost millions of dollars, but we're excited about it. We're starting with one place and 4 schools, but it'll grow over time. And we partnered with a Million Gardens movement, which is Kimball Musk's
Yep.
project, and that's to combat food insecurity around the world by teaching people how to garden and grow their own food. So we have, we're trying to do as much good in the world as possible and give people opportunities to grow and take care of themselves and their loved ones through, the tokens price going up. Obviously, we'd love if the tokens price kept going up so people can take profits and make money
Right.
through using it as a currency, earning it as a currency, working for it through the game, using it to fund projects that are charitable, all this stuff. And we have more stuff that's in the works that because of NDAs and,
Right.
attorneys can't talk about
Right.
publicly yet. But yeah, we just signed like Tyson Fury recently as an ambassador for the
Huge.
coin.
Huge.
Huge world heavyweight champion
He's probably the
is
most
now an
famous
ambassador
boxer
of the
right
coin.
now. I mean, he's the biggest
Yeah,
in the game.
he's
Like
the biggest right now.
crazy.
Um, so that's huge. We're trying to do as many things as we can to add value to our community and not just have it be about pump the coin to the moon,
Right.
which unfortunately a lot of coins are that,
It is. No, it's very true. And I think that's dope to see because a lot of the time, just with people in general, a lot of people will say, oh, I want to start this. Oh, I want to do this. It doesn't happen. Everything the team has said that they want to do or they are planning on doing that they can legally say has happened so far
Yep.
that I've
Yep.
heard. So it's not like, oh, we're thinking about doing this. Oh, we're gonna. It gets done. The team is taking care of it, and it's not a
Yep.
team that has like malicious things like, oh, I own 50% of this. Of course, I want to make as much money. Like no, like we talked about, no one owns that much of it. Couple percent,
Not
like
even the
what,
team
one and a
does.
half exactly. So it's like
Not even
they
the team
really
owns
just
more than
want
one
to
percent of the coin.
exactly. They just want to improve the world, like doing stuff that no one else is doing, and it's dope to see. And again, like if you go to my channel, yes, all my videos are about Floki. It's because it's my largest investment, and I'm keeping up to date with it, and I want to help spread awareness on what's actually going on. I'm not, just because I'm invested in it, I'm not going to stay away from saying, oh, I think that's wrong. Like, the community, if they think something's wrong, they'll change it. But so far, it's
Hmm.
been super transparent, and I've been happy about everything going on. So that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
I love it. And
So
for
that's
those of you who want to get Floki, there's a bunch of different places to access it. We're not just on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, which is where most of those pump and dumps happen because they're all on one platform. So
right,
it's very easy to drop the price when it's on one
right.
platform. We're on 12 different centralized exchanges currently that are pretty much available all over the world. So no matter where you live, there's one that's probably listed Floki. So if the price was ever to come down, it'd have to come down on 14 different places all at the same
Exactly.
time. Very unlikely that that's going to happen or that would ever happen. But yeah, there's a bunch of different places you can access it. I would say join the Telegram, become a part of the community, see what we're doing.
I'll put those
Um,
links in the description to the Telegram and all that.
Wonderful, wonderful. But yeah, join our project if you believe in what we're doing, and if you want to make the world a better place, and if you want to make some gains, obviously.
For sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
promising gains, so I am promising that we'll do
Yeah.
good.
No,
I'm
no
promising.
financial advice there.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you are trying to buy it, there's tons of tutorials online. I have one on my channel right here, and I just finished recording one to how to buy it on gate.io. That's one of the centralized exchanges where I've personally been buying a lot of it. That video will be up on my channel this weekend, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for coming on, Mario.
Yep.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you
Thank you
guys
for
on the
having
next
me.
video.